Hey, so every once in a while I like to pull open a mix that I did a few years ago and start fresh and see if I can do better. So I've been working on a song called Point of No Return by the Blues Hawks. We recorded this entirely live with scratch vocals and then redid the final vocals as overdubs.
I can't find no reason to stay. Ain't nothing for me here anyway. I'm going down to the point of no return.
I'm going down. I'm gonna take that ride.
For this session, I had used one kick mic, and it sounds like it was pretty deep into the drum because it's got a lot of definition. In fact, when I started mixing this again, it had a little too much click for this type of track, so I did a little subtractive EQ, and it softened it up a bit, but we're still missing the low end that the kick needs to fit in with the bass guitar. So I could go for a parametric EQ, do a boost and sweep a frequency around and try to find something that fits, but in order to go for something a little more natural, I'd probably reach first for a wide low shelf. And this probably would sound more natural, but it would also eat up a lot of the low-end spectrum of the whole mix and kind of compete with the other low-end elements. Fortunately, this is an area where a Pultec style EQ really shines, especially with what's known as the push-pull trick. So with most other types of EQ, you typically turn a knob clockwise to increase a frequency and counterclockwise to decrease it. But with a Pultec EQ, you actually boost on one knob and cut on another. Now, at first glance, it would seem that boosting and cutting the same frequencies would cancel each other out. In reality, the boost and cut curves on a Pultec are not identical, so they actually interact in a really interesting way, particularly giving you a big resonant bump a bit above the frequency you're boosting, with a big dip just above that, which tends to clear out boxy low mids and make the track take up less real estate in the low end of the mix. So let me show you what I mean. I have the EQP5 on the kick track, and we'll start with a 30 Hertz boost. Now, that sounds really low, but keep in mind with anything Pultec style, the curve is super wide, so it's not just going to affect 30 Hertz, it's going to reach well past 100 Hertz or 200, even up to 1K. So we'll start with it with the drums soloed and just listen to the low end in the kick. So really huge, natural sounding low end really kind of gives us what we're missing in the kick. But let's try the same thing in the context of the mix and listen to the relationship between the kick and the bass guitar.
I can't find no reason to stay. Ain't nothing for me here anyway. I'm going down to the point of no return.
I'm going down. I'm gonna take that ride. Going down where there ain't no place to hide.
So what sounded really nice and natural with the drum soloed actually sounds kind of too massive in the context of the mix, and it ends up making the bass guitar feel smaller and less deep. So what can we do? We can lessen the amount of the boost and take less of what we like and kind of compromise, or we can cut at the same time. So we're going to leave the boost where it is, and we'll cut at 30 hertz. With the EQP5, you can actually boost or cut at 30 or 60 hertz independently, which is a little added flexibility over a typical Pultec design, but we'll stick with 30 hertz for both for this context. So again, keep an eye on, or an ear on the relationship of the kick to the bass.
I can't find no reason to stay. Ain't nothing for me here anyway. I'm going down to the point of no return.
I'm going down. I'm gonna take that ride. Going down where there ain't no place to hide. Don't you even worry about me. I'm going somewhere where I can be free. I'm going down
To the point of no return. I've been hanging around here.
So you can hear the kick still sounds massive. We've got that big low-end boost, but it's not fighting with the sub-frequencies of the bass. I might actually use the EQP5 and bring in a little bit of 10K to bring some presence to the kick without bringing back that ugly 2 to 3K peak that I had EQ'd out earlier. But this trick works equally well on kick as it does on bass guitar and the entire mix. So give it a try and let us know what you think. Thanks.
Such a long